Welcome back, everybody. So today is the first day that I am going to start reclaiming my backyard space, the garden, the patio gazebo that I built. But obviously it's a wreck. It's an absolute wreck. So we had 3 hurricanes just over the last few months, almost kind of back to back within a few weeks of each other. So this whole structure, like, I had to take the tarp completely off and take everything out. So it went into the house, back out here, into the house, back out here, 3 times over, because I was concerned about the tarp catching wind during the hurricane. Like, it just caught wind right there. So it's fine for, like, breezy days, but for a full-blown hurricane, the tarp had to come down. So, and then nothing under here obviously would be protected from the rain. So it had to all go inside in the garage. Some of it made its way back out here. Things that were waterproof, like a lot of what you see on the ground is like seed starting containers, plastic bins, obviously my cinder blocks. That stuff all stayed out here, but it got like blown around and it's a mess now. So first thing we need to do is pick this all back up, and then I need to rebuild my seed starting table, because I even took that apart, because honestly my seed starting table is just some cinder blocks and plywood, so I was concerned about the plywood going down too. So we're gonna rebuild that, and you guys get to see how I built that, because literally my seed starting table cost me absolutely nothing. I found the cinder blocks, the plywood, and the boards that I used to support it all on the side of the road, not all at the same time, keep that in mind, but on different trips or while I've been out, or using places like Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp, Nextdoor. You'd be surprised at how much stuff people just like throw out. Like, they throw out bricks, cinder blocks, plywood, all kinds of stuff, 2x4s, stuff that you can use to, in your garden, your porch, in your house, whatever. So that's how I built my seed starting table. That's where I got the supplies from. So we're gonna go ahead and rebuild that, and we're gonna clean up the space today so that I can start some seeds. Okay, so you know how I told you guys that you can get a bunch of free stuff like on the side of the road through apps and whatnot? This I got for free. Okay, so a neighbor down the street from me was throwing it out, and it looks like a really nice outdoor rug. Now, I don't know exactly where it came from, why it was thrown away, what happened to it. I don't know anything about it other than it's a nice rug. So I'm going to wash it. You ever seen one of those really like satisfying carpet cleaning videos? That's kind of what we're gonna do right now. I'm just gonna use Dawn Platinum. I actually learned about using this on carpets from a YouTube video that I was watching about carpet cleaning back when I was steam cleaning my daughter's carpets, and they actually said that Dawn is actually like really good for cleaning carpets because it breaks down grease and grime and gets it really clean. So, and I like Dawn because it's not like super like chemically, especially since I'm using it outdoors. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this. But I'm gonna clean up my area here first so that I have a good surface to lay the rug out, and we're gonna time lapse cleaning this thing that I just dropped. If you're watching this channel because you're hoping for like a really aesthetic, like perfectly done sort of experience, you're in the wrong place. And the colors of this carpet really are not showing up great on camera, but it's like this deep green with almost these neon green like little striations in it. So pretty. So pretty. Okay. Sprinkle some on. Now let's hose it down. Okay, now I'm gonna lay the carpet over some chairs to dry, and then I'm gonna put the table back here where it belongs, because that area is for my gardening table. Oh, this is heavy. Now that it's all wet. Okay. So to build my seed starting table, I'm just using these cinder blocks here. I've got 8 of them. I've got 2 2x4s that I found. They have these holes in them. Obviously they were used for something. That doesn't matter. They're fine like that. So I got 2 of those that are about 6 feet long. And then I've got 2 of these 2x4s that are about 3 feet long each. And I've got my big piece of plywood there. So this is all I need to build my table. And literally, I don't need any screws, none of that. This is literally just kind of like sitting on top of each other. The weight is going to keep it all together. So I had this table up for, gosh, probably like 2 years. And it held up great, like in weather and everything. This is literally the same pieces that were in the previous table. I just had to take them apart for the hurricane. So we're just putting it all back together. I'm gonna start with deciding exactly where I want to center my table. I got one that could come over as far as here. I have this plant rack here. So I'll probably put my vases. And I'm literally just going to stack these up like this. horizontally or high. And the reason that I'm doing it like this, like horizontally, instead of doing like 4 posts stacked this way, is because we have a cat, and our cat is about this size. And he likes to get in things, he likes to get himself stuck inside of things, and I feel like he might get his little self wedged in here. So we're not going to have this side exposed. We're going to put them all up just like this. Now, another thing I do just to make this, like, I mean, they're cinder blocks, they're not going anywhere, but I typically put some dirt down in there. I feel like I'm not going to this time, just because I might be moving the table. I'm not 100% sure this is the exact spot I want to have it in until I get it all together, but for now, this is fine. I mean, like I said, it's not going anywhere. Now these, I typically put them about 2 feet apart. So we're going to move this over just a little bit. Now that we have that on, what I'm going to do is this. These go this way. And the reason being is because if we put these this way, then we can put our 2x4s going this way. So that's going to give us the support, since that piece of plywood is so much larger than these. It's going to give us the support on both edges of our plywood. Literally just setting those there. Here. Putting that there. Like I said, I am not nailing these down. These are literally just sitting on top of each other. Because the weight is going to keep it all together. Now, if you were worried about this going somewhere, you could put a nail on this, but like I said, I have never had an issue with this falling down or even like shifting. Once my plants are on here, it's totally steady. Getting this plywood on is usually the point where I have to shimmy things around. Like if you had 2 people, this would be a lot easier, but it's just me today. Still possible, but I shift my beams when I'm doing this, but that's okay because you can literally adjust it once this is on. You'll see. I think I can get it done. Okay, look at that. Down. And as you can see, my 2x4s are just a little bit longer than the table. I want it like that because it's giving the support to those corners that have a tendency to bend. So yeah, this is literally it. This is my seat starting table. Like, it's super sturdy. Like, I can like lean on it. I could probably sit on it. It would be fine. But yeah, once I get all my plants on here, it's gonna be great. So this was super quick to build, completely free, and so helpful. Like, having a designated area to actually start your seeds, to do like any kind of gardening things you need to do with your pots. It's like so nice to have just an area that can get dirty. It's a big surface. Like, it's great. So if you guys can build one of these, I highly recommend it. Like, you know, and it doesn't have to be these exact things. Like, get creative. Like, see what you can find. You know, maybe you don't find a big piece of plywood. Maybe you just find a bunch of 2x4s, or maybe you find a bunch of small 2x4s. You know, there's so much that you can do. You could even do a totally cinder block table. Like, you could just stack up cinder blocks and use that, like turn some sideways and use that as a table. So, you know, get creative. It doesn't have to cost anything to, you know, have a big impact for you. Good morning. It is a brand new day. So it's been about 2 days. I've let that carpet dry, hanging over the chairs. So yeah, it's a much warmer day today. The other day, it was like really cold out here, like unseasonably cold for this time of year. And I was having like issues with my back. So today is gonna go so much smoother, but we're gonna roll the carpet out. We're gonna clean off that table, and we're gonna get the seed starting table set up. I'm gonna get my soil out here on my pots, get everything back to where it should be so we can start these seeds. Here I am shifting my table here. This won't happen once all the weight is on it. So some of you might be wondering why I am putting a carpet right here in front of my seed starting table. Like, isn't it gonna get like dirty? Yes it is. But you know, I think it would look really pretty here, and that's kind of its only purpose. Like, it's to look pretty. Not everything needs to function. Sometimes things just, you know, can look really nice. So that's why it's going here. And plus, I think my cat's really gonna like it. It's amazing how much lighter this thing is. It's not wet, and my back doesn't hurt. And it's like a whole different carpet. Okay. Oh dear. Okay, so yes, it looks very pretty here. Happy with that. But unfortunately, these two columns, I think you can see that one right there. I have an idea to put these columns inside a vase, like a pot, and grow plants up the columns. So the problem with that is that the carpet is butting against the column. So once I put the pot down, it's going to be on top of the carpet a little. What I'm getting at is, over here my carpet is butted up against these. So I can't go any more this way unless I shift this whole table. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I'm going to shift the whole table about 6 inches back to give me clearance for eventually I want to put the pots there. For right now, this would be fine, but once I get everything off this table, I don't want to move it again. So I should just do it now when there's nothing on there, and it's just going to take like just a few minutes. Yeah, let's move the table. Good thing my back won't hurt today. should have known this wasn't going to be its final resting place. It's never that easy. Back in business. But I got dirt all over my carpet. I'm like a menace. Getting the new just washed carpet dirty already. That's okay. Alright, go out there. Okay. Do you remember earlier in the video when I said that if you're looking for a channel that's very like beautiful, perfectly done, very aesthetic, you're in the wrong place. But I think by now you've realized you're in the wrong place. So if you're still here, hi, thanks for watching. Anyway, so let's finish this, okay? Because we got other stuff to do. Now, it's exactly where it needs to be. It's beautiful. And there's enough clearance to put my 2 pots on those walls. Okay, now I'm gonna fill this table up, get the junk off that table, finish up that area, and then the porch will be clean. Finally, the birds are cheering as well. Look how nice this area looks. You know, I just realized this carpet actually is the perfect area, like, to stretch, to do yoga. Like, actually, this works really well. But look how pretty it looks, right? It looks great. Now, I could just show you guys this, and like, wow, it looks so different. This is like, you ever seen those reels where it's like Instagram versus reality? It's like they show like a picture perfect kind of area. I mean, this is obviously not picture perfect. I got a bunch of plant markers in the corner, but it looks way better. So I could just be like, oh, look how great it looks. So we got like the Instagram version, and then we turn around and we've got reality. So this is just the area I have to pick up. I have to do this side, so I can't just stop with this side. I gotta make the whole thing look nice. So we're gonna switch angles so I can show you picking all this up. And honestly, it's not that much. Like, it's a lot of chairs. It's a lot of the furniture that got displaced, and then I have like, yeah, just a bunch of like couch cushions and stuff. And this is all mostly plant junk, my cat's stuff. So this is all gonna go back. So we're gonna switch angles, and now we're gonna do this side. Yay! Thumbs up. This bird cage here is actually one of the things that I found for free. I saw one of those online postings that they said, you know, it was actually titled like free garden stuff and she cave stuff. So this is one of those things I picked up for free. So it's beautiful. what I want to eventually do with it, I think, is I'm going to put a pot inside, and I'd really love for it to be hanging with like flowers coming out, and then maybe getting some kind of solar lights to put inside. So that's eventually the project I want to do with this, but for now it's just gonna sit here and look cute. This stand here actually has a little bit of like, I would say, an interesting past. So it was originally like a black metal plant stand. It had like shelves. This bar wasn't here. It had like 3 shelves. These 2 shelves were totally rusted through, like they weren't good at all. And I saw this sitting outside by the trash at one of my mom's neighbor's houses. So I picked it up because at the time my oldest really needed like a clothing rack, like for shirts and stuff. So I saw it and I was like, I know what this can be. So I took like a shower curtain rod and I attached it here and I spray painted the whole thing gold, and it worked really well for her for a long time. Like she hung all her clothes here and then she put her shoes down here, so it worked really well. So it was repurposed as that, but now that she's gotten older, she's got a much larger wardrobe now, as teenagers do, so she needed a larger space for her clothing. So this was given back to me and I have repurposed it once again as a plant stand. So, but I'm keeping this rod here so I can put plants, or right now it's just holding like my tools, like my handsaw and my gardening gloves and whatnot. But eventually it's gonna have some plants down here, or I'll keep tools down there, I don't know. But I want to do hanging plants along here, so it'll have the hanging plants, and then maybe do something up here, I don't know what. But so it has been given new life once again. So just want another one of those things I found for free that it has been given a second, or even in this case a third chance. I'm gonna let the soap sit on the table, kind of eat away at the grime a little bit more while I go and set up my seed starting table. Finally, all this other stuff over there, over here that's sitting, this is all stuff for the seed starting table. It's all pots and all kinds of little things that I'm gonna need. So it's all going to be put back nice and organized. Okay, all clean. Awesome. Got plenty of space to work. I've got some containers I'm going to use to start some seeds. We've got some tags I picked up off the ground. And this is all my supplies. Well, some of my supplies. I still have some stuff in the garage I need to bring back out here, like a bunch of larger pots and all kinds of like tools and whatnot. But I have like all my containers I use to seed start, unconventional containers. I do have like traditional seed starting trays like this, but whenever I get like a plastic container from like lettuce or something, I save it because these make excellent seed starting containers. Because these over time, like they're just the $5 ones from Walmart, they tend to get like beaten down by the sun and start to crack and chip. So, especially here in Florida where it's so hot and the sun's so intense in the summer. So got my seed containers. I've got that empty storage bin, which I picked up for free, another free thing. That's just my plant stand that's been there. I got my water jugs. I save all kinds of jugs to like fill with rainwater. Like this was an apple cider container. This was an old cat litter container. This was a detergent container. Obviously, the detergent container I washed out really, really well many times. Also put vinegar in it just to make sure there's no detergent left that I'm like watering my plants with. Yeah, and then down there I just have like those plastic bags are bunny compost because we have a rabbit, so I compost this litter and a little bit of soil. Yeah, so that's my seed starting area. And this is the rest of it, all picked up now, nice and clean, very open. So, oh, I still need to wash all the soap off the table. Yeah, let me do that. The table still has some rust spots after I wash the soap off, but it's, you know, it's clean other than that. So eventually I want to repaint the table. I'm also going to repaint the chairs, recover the chairs, but these are all projects for another time. So in the future, I always have ongoing projects, it seems. So much better, yay. This is legitimately so much better, right? Yeah, look, it's all clean. Yay. Somewhere actually to work and do stuff now. Okay, there's one more thing I want to talk about before we end this video, and it's this. This is something I also got. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but for free. I literally found this on the side of the road. So, what these are, if you can't tell from that far away, let me set these down gently. These are Plumeria. So I was driving on the way back from dropping my daughter from school, and I saw like this really long branch laying like by someone's trash can on the side of the road. So I saw these white flowers, and I don't have the best vision from far away, but I knew they were white flowers, so I wasn't sure if they were gardenias or possibly plumeria because they were so like branchy, not a lot of leaves. So I was like, they might be plumeria. I've always wanted plumeria. Like, I love Hawaiian flowers, tropical plants, so I was so excited when I got out of the car and saw that yes, these are indeed plumeria. So it looked like it was a huge branch, and it looked like it had like broken off of their tree, probably from the hurricane. So I went ahead and just scooped up that broken branch, and I put it in my car, and I brought it home, and I cut it up into all of these little branches. So, and what I did next was I cut them into all different sizes because I really wanted to sort of test what would work best. I actually have a few more small branches still outside in water, but what I did was I stuck them in, I clipped them and then I stuck them in water for about the last week. So that may have been a little long. They probably only needed like 3 days in water, but I wanted to make sure that they were gonna live, and they're still green and doing great, so I think they're gonna be just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant these in soil, and that will be the last thing that we do out here today. We'll get some buckets and we're gonna plant these things. So I've got some pots here, and I actually do not have any fresh potting soil other than this right here. This is all I got. Somewhere out in the far reaches of the yard, probably overtaken by weeds and grass, I think I have another bag of potting soil, but it's been a year since I gardened, so I don't know where it is. It's out there somewhere. I'll find it eventually. But for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cannibalize some of my pots from out front. So I have, this was This was some lemon basil, some oregano. This was Genovese basil. So I'm just cannibalizing the pots and the soil. So I'm going to take some of this soil, put it in some of the smaller pots. I've got some soil over there from some cat grass. Gonna put it in here. And then I took some soil from one of my plants out front. So we're going to use that for now. That's what we got. And it'll be fine. And I also have a bucket of banana compost that I made last year that's literally just been sitting in the bucket waiting to be used. So we'll put a little bit of that on top. But yeah, so first I think I want to rehydrate the soil a little bit because this is super dry. So it's probably a little hydrophobic. So I'm going to water this before I go ahead and stick my plumerias in. And literally I'm just going to be like sticking them in. Like, I would recommend using like a rooting hormone, but I don't have any right now. So actually, wait, I think I have some. Maybe I do. Hold on. I was wrong. I don't have any. Or I don't know where it is. So we're just going to stick them in like this, which is fine. This is a great experiment because maybe you guys don't have rooting hormone either. You know, it's like this. And if you don't know what that is, it's like this white powder that when you propagate your plants and you cut them, you stick them in there, and it's supposed to help generate roots. So I've propagated lots of things without ever using rooting hormone. I've also used rooting hormone. So, you know, either way, I think this is gonna be fine because supposedly plumerias, from what I understand, propagate really easily. So let's rehydrate the soil, get all the soil into our little pots, and yeah, get these guys planted. Okay, so some of these pots, the soil was a little bit hydrophobic, not too terrible. I'm going to show you what I mean when I say that. So like this one, like it's sucking up the water pretty well. Like it's a pretty good, like muddy consistency. But if you look at like this one, when I go in and grab the dirt, it's still kind of sandy. Like some of it's sucking up the water and some of it's not. This one is super dry and clumpy. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like super dry, even though like I thoroughly wet it. So what happens is when your soil sits for a really long time without getting like any kind of moisture, like you let it get super dry, it's almost like the molecules like shrink up and they don't want to absorb water. So you can rehydrate it, but you often have to do it like several times in a row to like get it to like suck up the water. Like you really have to like overwater your soil almost to get it back to where it's absorbing water again. So and also adding like organic matter to your soil, like compost, can help it avoid your soil from becoming like hydrophobic. So, you know, some of it's like a little bit dry, a little bit crumbly like that, but not to the point of where I would say I can't plant anything in it. Like it's too dry, it's gonna kill the thing. So I think this will be fine. So we'll just give it another good watering, let it sit for a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and stick our plumerias in it. I'm gonna stick this taller one and one of the taller. I'm just probably gonna push it like halfway down, just so it's sturdy and it holds. And the bigger branches I'll put in the larger pots here. Take this one out. I'm gonna put this one in here instead because this one's a little bit bigger. then I just have my 3 small pieces, which we will put in our smaller containers. These actually might do the best because they are small, so they don't have as much to like try to keep alive and generate. And this actually is new growth since it's been in the water, so these actually look like they have a really good potential of actually producing something. So I have high hopes for all of it though, since it was all like in the water for a week and it didn't even so much as wilt. Like it just all looked really happy still, honestly. So generally they recommend you taking all of the leaves off, so that like it can like concentrate on the roots, and taking the flowers off. So I have some that are like that. Like obviously these ones have no flowers, these have no leaves, and then this one is just a stick, like there's no flowers or leaves or anything on it. So I'm trying in a couple different ways to like actually split my odds of this actually working. Last one, and this one's just again a really long stick, no flowers on this one. So okay. Oh my gosh, there's a giant bug on my head. That guy, can you guys see him? He was like crawling around on my head. Do not know where he came from. Ew, okay. And this is that lovely banana compost I told you guys about. This literally was, I took like a whole bunch of bananas, like literally a bunch, like, you know, a set of bananas from my banana tree that were like no good, and I threw them in a bucket with soil and put a lid on it and just let it like, it's literally been sitting that whole time. So the bananas have completely dissolved and we had this beautiful compost. So I'm not going to put too much on here because I have a feeling it's kind of potent from the bananas. I'm bringing so much bananas in the bucket, so I'm just going to sprinkle this on all of my little pots here. Make sure everybody gets a little bit. It's kind of like wet and mushy too because it's been rained on so many times. Okay. Share the love. And we'll add a unicorn for good luck. There we go. Okay guys, that's it for this video. So the porch is finally cleaned. I got my seed starting table ready. We planted the plumerias. So now we can actually do some gardening. Yay. So all this needed to be done first. I needed a clean slate to start working on the yard. So the next video I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a seed starting video, where I'm going to share with you guys what I'm planting this fall, which is now, to grow throughout the winter to feed my family, to offset our grocery bill. Yeah, so I'm really going to be focusing on a high volume of food. I want to grow like a lot of food, so that's going to be the goal. I am well aware of the fact that I do not have a decent area to plant anything that I'm going to be seed starting, but when you start seeds, you know, it's going to be several weeks before they can go into the ground. So the idea is that while I am getting the yard under control, I'm going to be starting my seeds. So they're growing, they are doing the work while I am doing the work. So by the time they are ready to go into the ground, I will actually have somewhere to put them. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great week. I hope you guys have a productive week. Hope, if anything, you took from this video a little inspiration to get something in your yard picked up, or to go look for something free and turn trash into treasure, or maybe you just had a little bit of a laugh at how ridiculous I am. So anyway, have a great week, you guys. Bye. That's it. I'm done. It's clean. I'm done. Thank goodness.